of the functions of the chest muscle is to pull the arm across the body so that the shoulder extends forward and you have the opposition in the back muscle. Now the pectoral muscle is unique in that it attaches with a single attachment at the shoulder, but then has several different attachments along the interior of the rib cage. So what we need to do is develop a unique formulation for developing all the different angles of the chest. Since the ideal angles for any body part to be worked from are when the origin and insertion are in line, we're going to have to develop a full spectrum of different angles to be able to work the chest effectively. Because of the number of attachments up and down the middle of the chest has to be worked from incline positions, flat positions, and decline positions in order to achieve a full and even development.
The pectoralis major is a thick fan-shaped muscle with an extensive origin from the center of the clavicle, the sternum, and as far down as the 6th or 7th rib, and which inserts into the humerus. It flexes, abducts, and rotates the arm and the shoulder medially.
The basic mass and strength building movements for the chest are all some sort of press, where the weight is pushed away from the body by using the pecs, the front delts, and the triceps. The basic mistake we often see in the gym when it comes to training chest is that there's too much pressing of the arms and not enough work from the pecs themselves. To properly develop the chest, the shoulders have to go forward from a backward shrug position to where the pecs are squeezed to the point of full contraction. If the shoulders don't go forward, then the pecs aren't worked directly.
The flat barbell bench press has always been one of the most popular of upper body exercises because it not only develops the pectoral muscles, but the triceps and the front deltoids as well. However, because so many different muscles are involved, when you do bench presses, be sure to use a wide enough grip to bring the pectorals fully into play. A narrow grip forces the triceps to do a disproportionate amount of the work, as we'll see later. Bring the bar down deliberately and under full control. The negative or eccentric part of the rep is as important as the concentric or positive lifting part of the movement. Lower the bar to the middle of the chest, not too far up toward the neck. Stop, then press it back up to full lockout position, feeling the shoulders pressing forward and the chest muscles contracting. If you lift just with your arms with this exercise, you'll never get the kind of chest development you're looking for. Bringing the bar to a full stop at the bottom is important. When you bounce the weight off your chest, you risk injury and take away from the difficulty of the exercise. So if you want full intensity from the bench press, lower the bar to the chest and come to a full stop before pressing it up again.
When you're doing the bench press, be sure to control the bar, the speed at which it comes up and down, and how far down you're going. You don't want that bar to push your body backward to where your chest is being overexpanded and your arms are being pushed to the sides and you're feeling this tearing sensation in the pec deck area.
You see a lot of guys bench pressing. They just bounce the weight and jerk it back up. Always keep it smooth. That downward motion is just as important as pushing it up. It's just as important because it stresses strength and muscular definition in the muscle.
Dumbbell presses have the advantage of allowing each side of the body to work independently, so that both pecs are forced to work at full intensity. Pressing with dumbbells enables the stabilizer muscles around the shoulder to become stronger as well. However, it's more difficult to balance and control dumbbells than it is a barbell, so you need to concentrate on lifting smoothly, deliberately, and under full control at all times. When you press the dumbbells, don't press them directly straight up and down, which involves too much triceps and not enough chest. Instead, lift and lower them in a slight arc, with the dumbbells moving outward on the way down and coming back in toward one another on the way up. Not as much as with a flying exercise, but somewhat of the same movement. This gives you a fuller and more complete contraction of the chest muscles than can generally be achieved when your hands are locked in place holding onto a barbell. Dips are actually a form of decline press and develop the lower part of the pectoral muscles as would a decline barbell or dumbbell press. However, decline presses tend to be more effective as a mass and strength exercise, while dips are more of a full-range detail and definition movement. Doing dips, the further forward you lean, the more you're going to involve the pectorals. When you do dips with your body in a more straight up and down position, as demonstrated here, for example, you tend to work more triceps than chest, which is a good arm exercise but not very beneficial to pectoral development. With dips, the lower you go, the more intense the movement, but never drop down so low that you overstretch the muscles, tendons, and ligaments involved and increase your risk of injury. Doing a barbell bench press on an incline changes the angle of effort of the pectorals and puts greater stress on the upper area of the chest. Incline presses are done exactly like flat bench barbell presses, except for two things. One, when you press on an incline, you generally can't lift as much weight as you can doing a flat bench press, so you'll have to adjust the weight accordingly. And two, you'll find it a little more difficult to balance and control the bar working at this angle, which means you need to concentrate even harder on using proper technique. So be sure to bring the bar down slowly and under full control and come to a complete stop at the bottom before pressing the bar back up to the starting position. Incline dumbbell presses are another mass and strength exercise for the upper pectorals. As with the incline barbell presses, you'll need to do the movement with somewhat less weight than you would on a flat bench, and controlling and balancing the weight requires total concentration. As with flat dumbbell presses, don't press the weight too straight up and down with a lot of triceps effort. Make sure the dumbbells move in a slight arc to help take the arms out of the exercise and make the pectorals do as much of the work as possible.
The basic isolation exercise for chest is going to be a fly type of movement. Now, a fly type movement is going to bring the arm across the body in an arc. Basically, it's going to be working with one joint. The shoulder joint is going to be rotating. It's important on fly type movements to keep the arms slightly bent and locked in position. And basically, the arm is going to be moving at an arc, allowing for a stretch, and the contraction point is going to be bringing the weight up to the top and squeezing the pectoral muscle. A common mistake that a lot of bodybuilders make when they're doing flying type exercises is trying to go too heavy. Now, flies for the most part are generally an isolation exercise and not really a mass building exercise. In fact, I've seen a lot of world champion bodybuilders go into the gym and just use like a 25 or 30 pound dumbbell and really isolate the muscle and learn how to feel the muscle effectively. One of the things that can happen when you do a fly too heavy is that you can strain or tear a pec insertion or a bicep muscle. So you want to be really careful to isolate the muscle and really learn how to feel it.